to lower the cost of everyday needs like health care and housing and groceries.
We're going to end America's housing shortage. You just let in over 10 million people illegally, and you put them all on housing vouchers and food stamps and gave them free plane tickets and free cell phones, and all of them have to live somewhere. You caused America's housing shortage. If you care about the cost of housing, limit the population. Certainly don't expand it through uncontrolled immigration, through open borders, which is exactly what they did. She's responsible for it. And her donors at BlackRock are buying up the houses in your neighborhood. And her donors at Airbnb are turning your neighborhood into a completely unmanageable garbage, a place filled with transients where there's no social connection at all between people. Those are her donors. Those are her policies. For her to lecture us on the housing shortage that she caused, it's almost too much. I can't sit here.
I can't be the only one. Thank you, Fox News, for firing Tucker Carlson. Thank you, Fox News, for firing Tucker Carlson. Woo! I'm on that cherry pie today, y'all. Cheers. Don't let them forget. Don't let them forget now. Shout out to them beautiful, hardworking patriots around the world, man. My brothers and sisters, we all want our tax dollars back, man. We all want common sense back. We all want change. It's time for a change, man. You know, we sick of these failures, all these liars, you know, all this pandering, manipulation. I'm sick of all these paid off actors. I'm sick of all these free concerts. You know, we got to get to Hollywood. We got to get the basketball players. We got to get the actors to come on. You know, it's crap, man. We need common sense back. It's time for a change in leadership. And as you can see, everybody's waking up, man. Everybody is waking up. They're on the Trump train. Democrats, you know, registered Democrats. Yeah, never Trumpers. But we do live in a time of the woke culture of no common sense. People still emotions over facts. Trump hurt my feelings. Trump hurt my feelings when he tweeted this. Trump hurt my feelings when he said black jobs. Black jobs. But most people don't even know what he was talking about. A lot of people with common sense knew what he was talking about. And come to find out, everything that Trump has said has been somewhat true. Yeah, it's been true. Or it's come to pass. It's happening right now. But again, man, you have to do your research. You have to think for yourself. You know, you can't go with the mainstream media. The first thing that you see, you're going to be brainwashed. You're going to be far, far gone. But you can see a lot of people are waking up, man. They're not going with the first thing that they see. They're not going with, you know, the mainstream media. They're not going with all this pandering, all this people twerking at rallies. Oh, their favorite artist, their favorite NBA player. No, man. No. That Trump train is riding, baby. It is riding. I'm telling you, I remember back, it was like in my past life. It was 1773. It was me, brother William Henry Harrison. It was me and John Hancock and I think Thomas Jefferson. And we were all riding. We was going down on that old motor. It was one of them old motorcycles. It only had where you had to hit the carburetor. And we was going to get some tea, and then they had a sign saying tax on tea. And John Hancock got mad. He pulled out his pistol, shot it twice. It was gunpowder everywhere. Yeah. And we didn't pay no taxes on tea in 1773. I tell you that. It was 1773, and we did not pay taxes on that tea, y'all. I ain't lying to you. I wouldn't make that up now. I wouldn't make that up, man. But somebody tell Comrade Kamala, Communist Kamala, I don't want your $25,000. I don't want it. I don't want it. And we know who you're giving it to, but we don't want it now. Tell Tim, Tampon Tim, I don't want your tampon. My son, when I have a son in the future, when I have kids, I'm 24 now. I do plan on having kids in the future and to be an amazing father. Shout out to all the amazing fathers out there. Our amazing parents, our amazing mothers. We have tons on the channel, man. Amazing people. Keep being amazing leaders and mentors and leading your kids in the right direction, man. Common sense, right from wrong. We need that in these times, man, because we're living in the most disgraceful, sick, woke times ever. It's affecting everything. Our school systems, everything. It's all corrupt, you know. But shout out to all our amazing parents out there, man. But we don't want your tampon, Tim. You know, this whole ticket, man, I tell you. But people are waking up, man. People are waking up. And Tucker Carlson just blew the lid off Kamala Harris' campaign. I can't wait to check this video out, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. It's a lot of loving patriots, amazing people on the channel, man. People that have been through something, people that are suffering through something right now, people that are struggling, man. People that are fighting depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts every single day, man. We have a lot of amazing people on this channel, and I want to send you guys my love, my prayers, man. All jokes aside, I also want to send my love and prayers and safety for this whole Trump ticket, man. The whole Trump campaign, man. The Trump team, because they want these fellas dead, man. I ain't lying to you. Prayers for their safety. I'm for real, you guys. And just seeing this RFK endorsement, we don't know what to expect, man. What's coming next? So prayers for those fellas, man. They are fighting against the system. They are fighting against the corruption. You know, we are not against the candidate. We are against the machine. A machine. You see the machine that broke down. Now they got it back up and running. They had to add new parts to it, rig it back up. We are not against the candidate. We are against the machine. And it's going to be too big to rig this year, y'all. Too big to rig. I'm telling you, man, a lot of people are waking up and they're on the Trump train, y'all. Don't let these actors and these NBA players and other people, you know, fool you. You know, there's a lot of people on the Trump train, man. A lot of people. Even other, you know, NFL and ball players and, you know, athletes and actors, you know, they don't want to come out and fully. Some have already come out and said that they have endorsed Trump, but again, they don't got to come and speak or make a huge post. They don't have to be paid off. You know, everything with this Trump campaign this year has been very, very genuine, man. You can see the difference in both sides. It's been very, very genuine, man. You know. But boy, Tucker Carlson, man, we appreciate you, Fox, for firing this fella. He's been rocking and rolling, man. I've loved Tucker's, especially his recent takes and his podcast. It's been amazing, man. But he blew the lid off the Kamala Harris campaign. So let's check this video out. It's coming from Liberal Hive Mind. I will leave the original link in the description box down below. And I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend, an amazing start to your week, this upcoming week, man. We are in a fight to get our country back, y'all. We are in a fight to get common sense back, man. Because millions of people are dying and struggling right now, man. And it's only going to get worse. What's coming next is only going to get worse, y'all. It's only going to get worse. I'll tell you that.
On exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And speaking of exposing the left, well, as you guys very well know, there's very few people who are as good or as talented as a man named Tucker Carlson. You know, I'm alright. I do okay. I really do try my best, but I'm certainly no Tucker. You just gotta give respect and credit where respect and credit is due. And well, Tucker Carlson's a man that never fails to deliver, and that's exactly what he did here in response to Kamala Harris's DNC speech, her nomination acceptance speech. Tucker Carlson breaks the internet with the best take of the day. Let me show you guys exactly what he said and of course why I think it's relevant, important, and of course factual. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so I pretty much laid out the groundwork, right? Kamala Harris acceptance speech, Tucker Carlson reaction, put the two together and you got based content. Take a look.
Consider what he intends to do if we give him power again. Consider his explicit intent to set free violent extremists who assaulted those law enforcement officers at the Capitol. His explicit intent to jail journalists, political opponents, and anyone he sees as the enemy.
Can I just interject here for a second? This woman's really scary. She could easily get elected president. She's much more skillful than I have ever seen. She's a liar on the deepest level. The things she is saying right now are not just untrue, they're the opposite of the truth, which is the hallmark of evil. She's an extremist. She'll say anything. She's much more like Gavin Newsom than I ever realized. I could go through a whole litany of why what she's saying is not true. It wasn't an armed mob. There's not one person inside the Capitol with a firearm, period. The only person who was shot in the Capitol was an unarmed woman shot by one of Nancy Pelosi's bodyguards. So again and again, she's telling us that she fought the cartels to secure the border. She's the border czar, and the border is controlled by the cartels.
She argued that Donald Trump, quote, tried to throw away your votes. Didn't the Democrat Party just throw away all the votes and install her?
Well, exactly. She's saying that Donald Trump will free from prison violent extremists, meaning like 75-year-old lower middle class women with diabetes, when she endorsed defunding the police and opening the prisons to allow actual criminals out, which is why the crime rate has spiked, to allow the population of Venezuela's prisons, Caracas's prisons, are now living in the United States because of her. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, and I don't want to sound like I'm whining or fact-checking, which I hate, but what she's saying is the mirror image of the truth. She doesn't care. She's got no reference points in the truth, and she's an extremist. And she's a former prosecutor, and no former prosecutor should hold power, period. I've covered them my whole life. I've intensely disliked every single one of them for good reason. I think they're scary, they're liars, and they're megalomaniacal. And they put people in prison for political reasons. I've seen it again and again and again, and she's one of them.
It's just the perfect clip. It's the rational reaction. You know, once again, we're in this very odd situation where the media is trying to fabricate reality. Supposedly, Kamala Harris's speech was the greatest ever, but obviously it was anything but. Kamala Harris took to the stage not to unite the country, but to further drive a wedge, using deceitful fear-mongering tactics to push an agenda that is fundamentally at odds with basic reality. Kamala Harris's speech was rife with accusations, but of course, as per usual, lacking in substance. She accuses Donald Trump of tearing apart the fabric of the nation. Yet it's her and her party's policies that continue to undermine the very foundations of the republic. Donald Trump wants to release violent extremists from jail. You see what I mean when I say Hollywood? It's all frickin' Hollywood. When she says that, she's referring to mostly peaceful protesters who in many cases have been overcharged and thrown in prison either for crimes they didn't commit or based on a totally twisted legal theory that the Supreme Court just reversed. And she has the audacity to say this when in fact we know for a fact that Kamala Harris has a track record of releasing actual violent people from prisons.
A group that Vice President Kamala Harris urged followers to support helped free an alleged domestic abuser who is now accused of murder. Minneapolis police say George Howard shot another driver in an act of road rage. He was out on bond posted last month by the Minnesota Freedom Fund. Now that is the same group Harris got behind last summer.
I was robbed. They tried to run me over with a getaway car. He almost killed me right over here. He was laughing as he fractured my skull.
Amanda's attacker was an illegal immigrant drug dealer arrested twice before, but released by San Francisco DA Kamala Harris.
If Kamala Harris hadn't let him out, this never would have happened to me.
In a press release announcing the arrest of Thomas Mosley on low-level drug charges, the Hennepin County attorney called out the Minnesota Freedom Fund for bailing Mosley out of jail twice previously, even though he was arrested for having a gun in the courthouse, and subsequent search warrants found at least 7 firearms. The Freedom Fund raked in donations after the death of George Floyd when it was promoted by many, including now Vice President Kamala Harris, to help bail protesters out of jail.
It's absolutely backwards. But most importantly, it's yet again just an emotional manipulation. That's really what it is. You have clearly deceitful, dishonest people who are willing to say whatever it is to get elected. Kamala Harris knows that she can't run on any of this. This graphic that I'm displaying on the screen, by the way, this is the true track record of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden over the...
I'm gonna pause it for y'all to get a good look at that. Good at just to make sure everybody can see it. Make sure everybody can see it. People are clapping this, are clapping. People are clapping for this, yeah. Yeah.
The last 4 years, Democrats know they can't run on this, and so instead, what do? They push this fear-mongering nonsense. Our political opponents are a threat to the nation. They're violent extremists. That's not a policy plan. That's just anti-Trump hysteria, and a lot of people...
All they can do is say Trump, 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 because they can't, you know, when you pull this up, you know, well, you know what, Trump is this, Trump is that, Trump's going to do this, Trump's going to take your rights, Trump's going to do all, yeah. Because this is their track record. This is their record right here, y'all. You know, and it's even worse than that. You know.
People understand this.
She wasn't clear enough on the policies. She did speak a lot of her personal history, which was great, but I still don't feel like she's ready. I feel like more so she should wait. I don't want to per se vote for someone that is a backup.
All right. No policy, just orange man bad. And of course, building that narrative on a mountain of lies. And I love that Tucker Carlson mentions the fact that Kamala Harris is a prosecutor. I think it's a perfectly reasonable point, and I think it's totally factual. Many prosecutors have some pretty inconsistent relationships with the truth or with facts. Many of the times, these people are more interested in winning in court and preserving their prosecutorial record than they are in the truth. And Kamala Harris obviously has a very, very storied history on this exact issue. And now it just feels like she's trying to translate those skills to her presidential campaign. She'll say anything to get elected. She'll demonize her opponents. She'll say anything as long as it's not related to policy. People are praising that Kamala Harris speech as if it was just so incredible. Look how eloquent and amazing and powerful she is. I mean, wow, just amazing. But that's not what it was. That was essentially a Rachel Maddow segment. Watching that nonsense was like turning on MSNBC during their primetime hours and just hearing Orange Man Bad. I was murdered, Orange Man Bad. Donald Trump's a threat to the very existence, to the very fabric of everything that we know and hold dear, and I have heard this frickin' shtick a million times over. Yet here they are, beating the same frickin' dead horse over and over. This speech was a masterclass in dishonesty. Democrats speak of unity, yet Kamala Harris's words were dripping with contempt for half of the country. Democrats speak of justice, yet they consistently support policies that are anything but. They speak of democracy, yet she and her party are doing everything in their power to undermine it. And it's not even like they're trying to hide it, they're openly laughing about it. Look at Gavin Newsom here, basically saying the quiet part out loud.
There's an intangible, it's different.
How are you feeling about the switch?
I mean, the switch. Now, we went through a very open process, and a very inclusive process. It was bottom up. I don't know if you know that. Yes, that's what I've been told to say.
Yes, it was a blitz primary, I believe that's what they called it.
It's a very, very fast blitz. Yes. I think it was a blink primary, so we call that.
A 30-minute convention, between a tweet and another tweet.
It's amazing how it happened.
Well, the people talking about defending democracy this time just decided to skip democracy this time, and now they're laughing about it sarcastically. What a complete and utter joke. This entire campaign, obviously before Kamala Harris, but really the moment Kamala Harris took over, has been probably the most dishonest in American history. You just have these slick Democrats showing up on all of these shows or taking to these podiums and straight up lying. I mean, we just played a Gavin Newsom clip, might as well play another. Take a look at this.
And let's have a real conversation. You want an economic policy to compare and contrast? We know what Trump's is. A 10% tax on the American people on $3.1 trillion of goods, a 60% tax.
Okay, you're talking about tariff. He hasn't laid down an all across the board tariff. He hasn't done that yet, and that's not true. Here we go. Kamala Harris from California. I want to go down that road because you know her.
Does it get any more misleading than that? Donald Trump supports tariffs on Chinese goods, and Gavin Newsom extrapolates that, or rather manipulates that, to conjure up the most dishonest political talking point I think I've ever witnessed, saying Donald Trump is proposing a 10% tax on everyday goods. Like I keep saying, it doesn't get any more dishonest than this. These people created chaos at the southern border, and now they're running on border security and saying that it's all Donald Trump's fault. These people spent trillions upon trillions of dollars in excess over the last 4 years and created a hyperinflation crisis, and now they're blaming it on grocery stores rather than their idiotic Keynesian economic policies. They talk about democracy, but they obviously have contempt for democracy. They talk about unity, but they obviously have contempt for 50% of the nation. I'm frustrated, I'm confused, I'm stunned. I'm not dooming because I understand that this election is anything but close to over, but I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, I mean, if these numbers are even close to correct, if this election is even somewhat competitive, or if Kamala Harris manages to win here based on what the Democrats are engaging in, first of all, how? And secondly, how do you move on from that? I don't think I could think of anything more demoralizing. If the Democrats get elected on the back of all these lies, if the people fall for it, I really don't know if there's any going back. If the electorate gets compromised to the extent of voting for communism because orange man bad, well then I really don't know if there's any going back. Frankly, if there's enough stupid people to fall for this crap and put these people in power, it's over. The people have been compromised, the people are too stupid, the education system has failed to a degree where the Democrats can simply manipulate millions upon millions of people by dangling shiny things in front of their face. You know, I can't think of anything more demoralizing. It just can't happen. I can't believe that it's gonna happen. I cannot accept it. It cannot happen. Kamala Harris is straight up a malicious liar. That's it. That's the conclusion of her DNC speech. Anyways, that's what I got for you.
Yeah. Boy. You just can't make this stuff up, man. But again, a lot of people are waking up, you guys. And it's going to be too big to rig, man. And prayers for Trump and his family, RFK, man. It's again, y'all. They want these fellas out of here, man. Because they are against the system. They're against the corruption. You know. They're fighting for you and I. You know. So I want to send my prayers for these guys and their safety. This whole Trump and Vance ticket. This RFK, man. You know, you see how the Dems did him. You know, they play unfair. Liars, failures. Failed we the people. Lied to we the people. Joe Biden was as sharp as a tack. Who's running the country? You know, millions of people are struggling, dying right now, you guys. It's crazy, man. It's sick. It's disgusting. It's a disgrace. A complete joke. You know. You should be fired up to go to that voting booth, man. Fired up. But let me know what y'all think of this. I love y'all. I'm wishing the best on all you guys' life, man. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Got to spend time with your loved ones, man. You cannot get this time back, man. Time is ticking for all of us, man. And they're going to come back and say, what the was going on in 2024? What was going on, man? You know. But bless you all and your families. I will catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.